And I...
Welcome to the Screensavers. I'm Kate Patello.
Well, I don't know what happened there. And I'm Leo Laporte, and we're in a loop. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, we're going to show you how to move your files directly from one host to another on your web. You know, you got a website, you got a new web host, you want to move it from one to the other without any intermediary.
Ooh.
Using something called FXP.
FXP. All right. Also, how to do that voodoo that you do in your Macintosh. Our own resident geekster, Roger Chang, is going to join us to add 3D gaming to your Mac.
Then later, Alpha Geek Patrick Norton joins us to review the latest all-in-one video card. You got graphics, you got video, and you got a pretty darn good gaming card all in one. We're going to show you the latest.
All in one.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, very interesting. I wonder what it'll be.
Oh, we'll find out. Now, before we talk about today's topic in the chat room, let's check out the final results of our last poll. The question was, should you be forced to have an email address?
No.
No way! Kel Surprise, our viewers said no. They don't want anything legislated for themselves. Bless all your heart.
Should you be coerced? Should you be gently persuaded? Maybe it would have been different.
Well, you know, just to follow along in that tradition, since our polls are always, you know, cutting edge and important to society and well-balanced, Argentina, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
You know that one of Argentina's, of course, primary industries is beef.
Oh, beef, yes.
And they've had tremendous tax evasion, of course, with people not counting the heads of cattle that they have. So they've decided that they want to actually place microchips into the back of the neck of the cows in order to keep them accounted for tax purposes.
Really?
Right. Now, many people are complaining because they feel that the meat would be contaminated by having
who eats cow neck?
Ever had, like, beef stew from a can?
You think that's cow neck?
Chili from a can? That's all kinds of cow parts you don't even want to know about.
There's a chip in my Dinty Moore.
Ew! See, that's what they're worried about. So our question today, in the interest of our viewers, is, would you eat chipped beef?
No. All right, so here's, I guess, all right, I'm supposed to argue on the positive, right?
Yeah, tell me all about it, man.
How would the chip get in the beef? Come on, really, honestly. The first thing they do, they get the cow in there. They're going to make hamburger. They take the chip out.
Well, they got to implant
This is just Luddites.
How do they put the chips in the
Luddites who say, chips, oh, gosh, chips, it's going to be the end of the world. They implant it and they pull it out. It's probably this big. Come on. I got a chip in my bunny rabbit. When I have cassoulet, when I make cassoulet out of it, I'm not going to worry about the chip. What?
All right. I actually don't have that much of a problem with it either. There's no evidence that anything in the chip.
No. See, that means I have to argue the other side.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. I like chips, man. Chips are tasty, and if I swallow one, it could just make me smarter.
Okay. This is just one more step into creating artificial, non-animal animals.
Right. And also smart cows. If you have Tom Merritt.
Just take the darn poll.
Yeah, take the web poll. Screensavers.com and give us your favorite recipe for chipped beef. Or tell us how you feel about animal ID tags in general.
Put it right out of here.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now.
Let's just move.
You can also telephone us 888.
Thank you.
88.
Oh, I'll be here all week.
888-989-7879. Or take the bull by the horns and go right to the chat room. Chat.zdnet.com. We're in the Screensavers room.
That's right, we are. But if you have a netcam, you want to be on television, just click on the netcam Cineplex because look in there.
Who's in there?
Look at this. It's Roger and Brad and Shannon.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef part?
The beef?
All right, guys.
Clara Peller.
There you go.
That's who that was.
And, of course, hey, do you know what today is?
What is today?
Today is Brad, our intern's last day.
Haven't we been saying that like for 3 weeks?
Right, I know, but today really is his last day. Goodbye, Brad.
He's going to NBC.
He got a real job.
He got a real job.
Oh, look, he's writing us a note now. Too late, sorry. And earn yourself a fabulous magnet.
Wait.
Too late to be seen on your fridge, as seen on ours. There's Norton and Tina Turner, whom we love very much, but is a thief, and we'll explain that later.
Yeah.
Now let's talk to Matt, who's joining us on the phone from Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hi, I just got a CD burner, and I wanted to know how to make an interface for, my digital art because, it's kind of like a DVD interface.
You want to load your CD and have something come up, a pretty screen, so you can navigate your way around?
Yeah.
Automatically?
Yeah.
Easy. Easy.
Easy breezy?
Is it slides, is it stills, or is it video?
Well, it's stills and video.
Stills and video.
Okay.
All right. It gets a little, now you made it more complicated.
Well, they'll be downloading the video, so they won't have to.
Anything else you'd like to add before we answer this question?
Would you like it to talk or anything?
Well, no, just stills.
Count
Well,
cows?
basically what you're doing is multimedia authoring. And, of course, you could do a high-end thing using something like Flash or Macromedia's Shockwave, or as the big boys do it when they create CD-ROMs, use Macromedia's Director product. And that gives you scripting and all sorts of capabilities. The way you make a CD auto-run is you'll put a file in the root directory of the CD, a text file called autorun.inf. Right. And inside there you'll have two entries. One for the auto-run equals the program that's going to start when you insert the CD, and another entry called icon that will be you know how when you put a CD in, you get a custom icon on the desktop.
Yeah.
So that's really all that goes in autorun.inf. If you want to see what's in one, just take any auto-run CD and look for that file in the root directory there. That'll give you an idea of the syntax. So the next question is, well, what program do you want to auto-run? And that really is going to depend on what you want to play back.
What's going to make his interface?
Well, I could do it very simply for you, and maybe we'll just start with a simple one and let you get more elaborate. As we mentioned, you could do it with Shockwave, right? Okay. Or you can download a very simple slideshow program called PickView. It's a program that we actually did this on Call for Help is how I know this. It's a program that will play a slideshow, and if you do the right parameters, /R/S, it will automatically, when you stick the CD in, just go right into a slideshow. It also plays back videos. So if there are videos in that directory, it'll play the pictures one after another in the timing that you specify. It has an INI file that lets you specify the timing. And then if it gets to a video, it'll play the video.
So autoplay. Now, you're not looking for a big interface screen with buttons on it so you can choose which movie and which stills you want, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
Because that's where you go to Shockwave or Director.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to do some programming and write that. But I'll tell you, Flash, Shockwave, and Director, all three products from Macromedia, are specifically designed for that kind of thing. They're not that hard to use, and that's what the pros use. But this is a much simpler thing. If you go to the Call for Help website, you will find the step-by-step. We did this exact thing. We made an auto-run slideshow. You stick the CD in, has all the details you need, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes that we send out after the show so that you can, if you can't find it before the show's over, you'll get it in the email, okay?
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Sort of. Is it? Yeah. That sounds. You sound a little hesitant, Matt. Why? Tell us why.
Well, I heard about a program called NeoBook, which does something like that. Yeah.
It's just another scripting language. There are a million of these. NeoBook is a very good one. If you want to try that, absolutely. They're literally, the guy who owns ZDTV for about 5 years banged his head against the wall with a company called Asymmetrics, creating something called Toolbook.
Ow.
Nobody bought it, but it did exactly that. It was a really neat product. So there's a lot of them out there. NeoBook is a very good one. It's actually Neo Toolbook. It's a kind of designed after tool.
Is that affordable for humans?
It's like a few $100, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's $200.
Yeah.
Wait, are you a student, Matt?
Yeah.
You might be able to get yourself, should you want it for later, you can get fat discounts for student software. You can get Director, I think, for like $200. It's supposed to be $800, and you can get it for a couple hundred. Now, I did a whole segment on this fairly recently on the show of all the places that you can go to find discounted student software, and all you need to actually qualify for it is a student ID or a letter from your computer teacher on school letterhead that proves that you need this, that you use this, and that you'll learn from it. So let's try to find that, too, and we see if we can link that from our archives.
You can also go directly to Macromedia. They'll do it. They'll sell you direct. The whole idea is they want to get you hooked now, right?
Yeah.
And if you do it now in college, maybe when you get out of school, you'll keep using it when you become a pro, and then you'll pay the full price.
I mean, might be some limited functionality in the program, but still, you can probably do most of what you want to do for about the same price.
No, they don't limit it. It's the full program.
With the advanced tool.
It's the full program.
So if I were you, I'd give that a shot.
All right.
Yeah, I played around with Flash a little bit, so I know a little bit how to do that.
Flash is very cool.
Yeah. But do Director, because it's really easy to use, and it's normally very expensive. If you can take advantage of a student discount, I'd do it. Good luck, Matt, and send us a copy of your CD when you're done. All right, thanks for the call. After the break, we're going to learn how to put some voodoo in your Mac when the screensavers continue. How do we do that?
We do that. It's time now for our weekly alternative segment. A neat tip or trick about an alternative operating system or device. This week, Wow, I didn't even know you could do this. How to use a Voodoo card in a Macintosh. To help us demonstrate this week, we have drafted screensaver stalwart Roger Chang. You did this all by yourself.
Yeah, it took me only 10 minutes.
No, come on, this has got to be a tip. You got to get selling.
Yeah, well, actually, it took me longer to figure out how to do it than actually execute.
What's the problem here? This is the Voodoo 3 card.
Yes.
And don't they make it for the Mac?
There was a company that was going to make it for the Mac, the company by the name of MacTel. Unfortunately, they had to file for bankruptcy before they could release it.
Oh. So if you have a Mac and you want to play the latest, greatest games like Unreal Tournament or Quake 3 Arena, you need acceleration. And if you don't have a Rage 128 in there, you might want to look at a 3DFX. What does it take to get this? This is the PC version to work on a Mac.
Well, first of all, you need a PCI-enabled Mac.
Okay, with a free PCI slot.
A free PCI slot.
Don't think you could take the TV card out, the current monitor card out, and put this one in.
No, because you actually, until you finish reworking the BIOS on the Voodoo, you won't have video out of that card.
You need both?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to rework the BIOS, huh?
Yes. Basically, which is a relatively painless task. What you do is you go to the 3DFX site.
Okay.
You download the Macintosh drivers.
So they have Mac drivers.
They have Mac drivers.
But we also have to change the BIOS in the card.
Do a BIOS flash to make sure the Mac recognizes the card.
Well, show us how we would do the flash. Is this a lot like flashing a BIOS on a PC?
It's actually a lot easier because it's a lot quicker, and you don't have that arcane command line prompt. You actually kind of get a GUI, so you know where you are at all times. So when you download, this is basically what you get.
This is the burning program, Flash ROM Voodoo 3.
This is a program. If you notice these are the ROM images that you'll be using.
Okay. These are different ones. What's this PC save?
The PC save, that's in case you want to return your Voodoo card back into the PC realm.
Do you have to explicitly do that? Say, save my old
It's actually really cool because it does it automatically.
Okay. So it saves it. So I could always make this a PC card again by restoring this PC save.
Restoring that image.
Now, how do you know which of these to use?
It depends on the model card. Depending on whether you get the 2000 or 3000, will determine on which you get. The 2000 is the lower number, and the 3000 is the higher number.
That's easy. So we have a 2000.
So basically, you just run it.
Okay.
And
it's asking you which board. So we're going to use board 1, slot B1.
Select that board, and then it asks you if you really want to flash run.
You really, really want?
And you click yes.
You're going to do it?
No.
Okay. He actually's done this already.
Yeah.
Now show us. You did it already. Now, in theory, if all works well, we should be able to play a game like this, Quake 3 Arena, in Voodoo mode.
It's actually OpenGL, and that's an important thing to realize because, like the PC world, there are drivers that you have to have or it won't run.
Right.
I didn't know this, and I banged my head for 2 hours figuring out what the heck was wrong.
Right. You may not have the Apple OpenGL drivers, by the way.
No.
You might have to go to the Apple site and download it.
Go to the Apple site, and you can download it. And
play it.
Oh, play it.
Okay, so you download the OpenGL drivers, and then when you run Quake 3, you're going to say run in OpenGL mode. Or does it do it automatically?
It's an automatic.
Oh, that's right. That's
default OpenGL.
That's the only way this can play. That's right. But I'll tell you, really the best way to play Quake 3 Arena is on a Voodoo card. That's always been true of Quake. They're really optimized for it. Look at that. It's looking good on our Macintosh. This is an older Mac G3, by the way.
This is a 266 Macintosh.
Right.
And normally this game runs like molasses.
Without the acceleration.
Without the acceleration.
Right. Nightmare? Are you sure? He's going to play at Nightmare level. You're going to die fast. All right, great tip from Roger. You can use the PC Voodoo 3 cards, but you have to flash the BIOS, and of course you'll have to get the Mac.
And one note of update is 3DFX is publicly released that they'll support the Mac and the Voodoo 4s and 5s.
So they're going to start selling them direct for a Mac.
Yes.
You won't have to do any of this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good news. The Voodoo 4 is a pretty awesome card. I can't wait for that. You can visit our website for Roger's detailed instructions about upgrading your Mac with a Voodoo 3. It's all available at thescreensavers.com. Of course, you can give your PC-owning friends all the software that comes with this because you're not going to be able to use it anymore. Roger, take this and go.
Excuse me, I believe.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Maybe he wants to fight this game here. Mark and Christine are joining us on the ZDTV. I'm a little nervous now. On the ZDTV 3Com Netcam network from York, Pennsylvania. Hi, Christine and Mark.
Hi, Mark and Christine.
Hi, Kate and Leo.
How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing okay. We're getting shoveled out here.
How much snow did you get?
12 plus.
12 plus inches, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man.
My goodness.
It could be 12 feet.
Hey, did we meet y'all when we were out at York?
Unfortunately, no. I was busy that day and didn't get to come out.
Oh, bummer. They gave us the key to the city,
We still have it.
Yeah,
Doesn't open a darn thing, but it's...
I've seen it on past episodes.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, you're going to see it on this episode in a minute. What can we do? Every time we have a York caller, we drag out the key to the city.
By the way.
Like
there
we're important. There it is. First capital of the United States.
fine.
For about 5 minutes.
So you have like a...
County had 250 anniversary, big to do last year.
Oh, that's fun. I'm sorry we missed that. So what can we do for you, Mark?
Well, this confuser of mine.
Yes.
It when I shut it down at night or whenever, it looks at the A drive. But if I put a disk in it, it doesn't write anything.
So every time you shut down the computer, it goes down here on the A drive.
That's correct.
Is it always doing that every time you shut down? Doesn't every computer do that?
No, mine doesn't.
It's done it ever since I put Norton
antivirus. Right. Norton antivirus will give you a message that says, I'm checking the boot record of drive A. It's just double checking to make sure you haven't got any boot viruses from your floppy drive before you shut down your machine.
You know why it does that? And it's not true so much anymore, but for a long time the worst, most prevalent viruses were these boot sector viruses, where if you rebooted and you tried to boot from a floppy with Michelangelo on it or the Stone virus on it or any number of these boot sector viruses, it would copy itself from the floppy that way. So the only way Norton can do that is to check it on shutdown, obviously, because it's too late by the time you reboot. You got it. You nailed it.
That's why I said, doesn't it happen on every computer? Because most of the machines I use have Norton on them.
I don't use Norton.
So that explains a lot, doesn't it?
That would explain.
Okay, is there any way I can disable it?
It's not hurting anything.
No, but it's annoying.
It takes like an extra second and makes a chewing noise, Mark, for Pete's sake. It's not that bad.
I don't blame him. I agree with you. I don't blame him. It's very...
Here's another thing, and it also does about the same time. It always says checking startup files.
That's exactly it.
Right.
Now, you can disable all of that. That's when you reboot, by the way. You can disable all of that if you go to your Norton antivirus and you go to the settings. I don't think we have it installed on here because we don't want it to slow down the set computers. We don't care if we get a virus. We just put a new image on there.
Yeah, we don't care.
But all you have to do is go in your options, and what you're going to do is disable the floppy check on shutdown. There's actually an entry for that. And then disable the system file check on startup. You can disable that. But, remember that when you do that, you're making yourself, if only slightly, more available to viruses.
No, I don't care. The startup doesn't bother me as much as the shutdown.
Well, leave the startup on. That's a quick scan. The truth is, the reason I don't use Norton antivirus, and it's, by the way, I still think the best antivirus out there, is because I decided I don't want to put up with all of those things, like the boot check, like this floppy, like having it run in the background all the time. So I decided I'm going to practice safe computing and not do any of the things that might get me a virus.
Oh.
And so I'm doing a little experiment on myself and see if just by being careful I can keep myself from getting a virus.
Okay.
And then I don't need the Norton antivirus, and I don't have to put up with the loss of CPU cycles and the annoyances of the startup and shutdown.
Then you could just run it on individual files if you're going to download or install them.
Well, one thing I do keep running, and it's the only thing I keep running on Norton Antivirus 2000, there's an email checker that scans email as it's coming in. And since it's my opinion that the number one way now people get viruses is no longer from floppies. How many of us trade floppies?
Almost none of us.
Nobody. The number one way now is by email. So if you scan your email, in my opinion, you're getting like 99% of the risk taken care of. Okay?
All right.
If you have the latest one, just disable everything but the email scan. I don't even have it in the system tray. I don't have it through the scan. I don't do anything.
Just update your virus definitions regularly, very regularly, and give yourself like a full scan of every single file every couple of weeks, and you should be all right.
Okay, can I plug my site?
Yeah.
Okay, it's users.
Yeah, we're supposed to type here.
Hold on. All right.
Users.supernet.com /pages /Mark Minnick
/Mark MINNICH. All right. And by the way, folks, I take this experiment with the antivirus on myself. I'm not advocating anybody else do this.
Thank you. Good.
It just happens to be what I am doing. And, if you want to do it, remember, there are risks to doing it. There is Mark.
There's Mark.
In fact, he even says, this is me.
With Star Trek links, which is good for me. All right. Thanks, Mark. And goodbye, Christine. It was lovely talking to you.
Christina, I have a feeling it's the long-suffering computer widow in the family.
One thing to say.
What? Hey, No, if we get that started, we're in deep trouble.
Oh, no. Okay.
See ya.
Thanks, bye.
Coming up next.
We should have cut him off.
You got me started.
Oh, no.
Coming up next, we save the binary world one computer at a time when the screensavers continues.
Screensavers.com is the best for information information about what's on this show. Hey, did you miss one of them handy-dandy Windows tips? Well, check out our collection of Windows tips on our Answers and Tips page, all at thescreensavers.com. And, folks, almost all of them come from you. So check it out.
Yeah, they're good ones, too.
All right.
Devin joins us on the phone from Cumming, Georgia. Hi, Devin.
Hiya, Devin.
Hey.
How you doing?
You going to the Georgia Dome on Sunday?
No, I'm not really into football, you two.
Oh, I feel so bad for everybody in Atlanta, though. No tailgate parties. Has the ice storm hit you yet?
Yeah, we had one, let's see, not a week ago. It shut down power at our house for like 6 hours.
Right. Did the new one hit?
Wouldn't that be weird if they had snow at the Georgia Dome, especially since they've got a roof?
Well,
that would be very interesting.
There's supposed to be a really, really bad storm like today or tomorrow, yeah.
Wow.
So all the tailgating, no barbecuing in the parking lot. So, Devin, you non-football fan, what can we do for you?
All right. I'm planning on getting a laptop in the summer, and I was thinking I wanted to be able to network it with my PC. It's a gateway, and I want to be able to access the files on the PC and vice versa and get on AOL on one computer and use it on both.
Easy.
Now, will that work with an IR port for data? Yes, but for networking?
Yeah, you don't want an IR port. Do you want to go wireless or wired?
Wireless, because running wires 500 feet is going to be a little tricky, upstairs, downstairs.
Oh, I see. You want to move around with your notebook while you're doing this.
Yeah, whole point of getting one.
Yeah, I think you want airport.
Yeah, you do want airport. It's coming out for PC.
Yeah. There are a number of wireless. Airport's not the only way. There are a number of wireless technologies out right now, but the fastest and the one we like the best is 803.11b, which is high-speed 803.11. And Apple's the first to come out with it with their airport. You've seen this by now, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's the thing in the iBook.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it's got the transmitter tower, and you'll need one of these anyway. For the Apple transmitter tower, it looks like this UFO. It plugs into either a phone line or a DSL or a cable modem connection. And then it's a transmitter. It stands alone by itself, and it will transmit to up to, I think, 15 different devices around the house.
So you can get both of your connections for both machines from the one unit.
That's exactly right. Your desktop wouldn't be on the net directly either. It would be going wireless. The solutions on the PC side are a little expensive still. Lucent, a number of companies. The one that we saw the other day looked the best. It was from, I think, Aeroport. I don't know the web address on that, but I'm going to find it for you. There's 3Com Waveland. There are a number of companies that are making these, but they're really pricey. It's brand new. So, but if you say this summer, I think by the time that comes, you're going to be able to get a great deal. And I tell you, it's nominally 11 megabits, which is as fast as hardwired 10-base Ts. And that's really fast.
So it'd be like a 14.4 modem on each computer.
No, it'd be much faster than that. 11 million bits per second. It would be the equivalent of a hardwired Ethernet connection between the computers.
Yeah, but we have 6K, but that should be plenty.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, yeah. This is faster than a cable modem. This is going to be plenty speed for you. Now, I have to tell you, Macworld Labs, in their testing of Airport, that we're getting speeds about half that. But that's still 5 or 6 million bits a second. You know, the fastest cable modems out there are 1 or 2 megabits, 1/3 that speed. So you've got plenty of bandwidth, and certainly for a 56K modem, you're going to be great.
What are those, like 200, 300?
Well, if you bought Airport, it's $300 for base station, and then the PC cards, which don't work on PCs, by the way, they may be called PC cards, but really from iMacs.
That's redundant.
Yeah.
Figures. The cards are $100 each. But like I said, there's a whole bunch of companies. I did in the show notes. We talked about this before. I did a couple of weeks ago. I had a whole list of companies. I'll do that again tonight in the post-show email. Maybe I can find one here. Aeroport is the one that seems to be the best right now. And I also found a 3Com solution. Okay, I think that's called Waveland.
But what a difference 6 months makes. So
yeah.
Save your money. Don't worry about it. By this summer, you'll be sure to find something that's a lot more affordable.
Real key here, though. There's 803.11. Which is 2 megabits.
All right.
And there's 803.11b, high speed, which is 11 megabits. So if you want to get the...
What a difference one tiny little letter makes.
Little b makes a big difference.
My goodness.
Folks, don't start... Thank you, Devin. Appreciate the call.
Good luck, Devin.
Don't start flipping, folks. Still to come on this very show, we're going to show you how to transfer files from one website to another without getting in between using FXP. Also, we'll answer your questions, provide more of our voluminous computing knowledge. Plus, Pat Norton reviews a video card with multimedia functionality. All that and more as the Screensavers rolls on.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Kate Patel.
And I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you so much for joining us. Today in the chat room, we're asking you, would you eat chipped beef? Because they want to chip the necks of Argentinian cows.
To eliminate tax evasion.
You know, they put little metal rings in the ears of American cows. You're not worried about eating little metal rings, are you?
No, because they save those for the dog food.
I'm not worried about chipping the beef.
No, it's just normal paranoia about... I don't think the cows like it very much, though, apparently.
They seem to be a little restless.
They're saying, is there no such thing as privacy anymore? Is privacy dead for cows?
Oh, maybe that's an issue. It's a privacy issue.
It's a privacy issue.
Sure.
I just...
Because...
Yeah.
If you chip somebody's neck, you know, you can know exactly where they are, maybe where the cows are web surfing, things like that.
It's like the Pentium 3 ID, man. I wonder if you could switch that off by default so that the poor cows could surf anonymously. Well,
and you know,
yes.
They start chipping the cows. How long is it going to be before they start chipping humans? I ask you.
Well, anyway, you can see what we think about this hot controversial issue. Take our web poll at screensavers.com.
It only goes so far.
I know. I'm running out of cow jokes. Now, while you're there, you know, talk back and tell us how you really feel.
You can also chat with us, chat.zdnet.com.
All right, Darren joins us on the phone from my family's hometown, Nacogdoches, Texas. How you doing, Darren?
Pretty good.
Very nice to speak to you. How's Nacogdoches today?
Cold and not icy at all, amazingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know? Cold. It rarely gets cold down there. East Texas is a warm place.
Yep.
You'd be surprised. So, what can we do for you, sir?
Head and Shoulders commercial. What were you doing there?
I'm picking lint like a Reese's monkey. I'm sorry.
No, you could have used that right there on a, next Tegrin commercial.
For heaven's sake.
So, Darren, give us your question.
Okay, each time I start my computer with my printer on,
yes,
Windows asks to install the printer, even though it's already installed.
I hate it when that happens.
Question. Is it a USB printer?
No.
No.
What kind of printer is it?
It's a Panasonic laser printer.
And when you go to the device manager, well, I guess you must, but when you go to the device manager and you look at what devices are in the printer section, do you see that printer?
Yeah.
And do you see one entry for that printer?
No, it's like 6.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
So here's what I want you to do.
Now, you're running Win98, yes?
Yep.
Okay, let's verify.
What I want you to do is actually this would work with 95 too. I just want you to delete all of them.
Yep.
All of them, including the very last one. Delete every one of those entries, okay? So that what you're telling Windows is, I don't have a printer.
Me? Printer? No.
No printers here. They will ask you the next time you restart. But I had this happen to me, and it's just something, plug and play gets a little brain dead sometimes. But it probably won't ask you again. In other words, what's happening for some reason is it's just keeping adding entries because for some reason that doesn't like that first entry. Delete them all. Delete them all. Restart. It'll ask you once, and it shouldn't ask you again. Okay. Have you tried that?
Yeah, but it installs it for my printer, like GDI, and a PCL for my printer, and the GDI and PCL for 2 other printers by Panasonic.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then the other thing you could do is, and this is going one step farther on this one, is to actually find the actual driver file names. You know, on a device, if you go to the driver tab and click driver file details, it'll show you the names. This is not a printer, obviously, but it'll do the same thing of those files. Actually search and destroy those files. Nuke them. Okay? So delete the entries, and many people don't realize this. Deleting the entry from the device manager does not delete the file on the hard drive. No. So if you delete the entry from the device manager and the file from the hard drive, you will need your install disk. Okay. And start over. What we're trying to do is we're trying to fix plug and play and give it something that's going to satisfy it, and it's not going to ask you again. Okay. And what I think is one of these files may be damaged, or you don't know. But
one more tip for you, Darren: if all else fails, don't ask us why this works. When you're rebooting your machine, a full reboot, go into the BIOS. Go to the part where it says plug and play operating system. That means, do I let the operating system handle the IRQs, or should the BIOS handle the IRQs? If it's yes, toggle it to no. If it's no, toggle it to yes. Okay. Then boot. And see how that works. And then, sometimes, if that doesn't work, if you go back and switch it back, then it works.
That generally works best with cards. Because
it does work best with cards.
It's really about PCI arbitration.
But you never know.
But it might work with a printer. I think not, because the printer is an external.
Yeah, it's on a parallel.
But try it and see. And the main thing, I think, is basically you understand what's happening here. Plug and play is scrambled, and you need to fix it.
Can I say hi to my parents?
Of course.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Well, where are your parents?
They're watching from Houston. I had to tell them how to get on this network and find the right channel.
All right.
Channel 191, Mom and Dad. Darren's a TV star.
Hi, Darren's parents.
What are their names?
Ronald and Winnell.
Hey, Ronald and Winnell.
Darren is a wonderful, wonderful son. And in fact, we're about to make him a star, Ronald and Winnell. You want to watch this? Darren, will you please take us to break?
Sure.
All right, go for it.
Thanks, Kate and Leo. Patrick Norton is in the house to show us a video card with an array of multimedia features. And the Screensavers continues.
All right,
Nice job.
Nice job. Big TV star grinning and a wave now. All right. Ronald and Winnell.
Screensavers.com is the best place for more information about what's on the show. How much do you know about the computer display you stare at all day long? Find out by taking this week's Super Geek Challenge. It's all about displays at thescreensavers.com.
And you know who our star is today?
Who's our star today?
Billy from Yukon, Oklahoma. Yay, Billy! Because you won yesterday's Super Geek Quiz T-shirt and/or cap giveaway. Congratulations, Billy.
Oh, hey, here to fill us in on the
Nice
latest technology. Oh, by the way, don't forget to fill out that form. I almost forgot.
The form?
I forgot. Don't forget to fill out that form after you take the quiz for the chance to win the T-shirt.
Because we don't know where to send your stuff if you don't fill out the form would be the point.
Now, here to fill us in on the latest technology, Patrick Norton, ZDTV Senior Technical Editor. What do you got, Patty?
Hey, Northaniel.
I got Matrox stuff.
Matrox.
Video card stuff.
Okay, show us.
Matrox Marvel G400 TV. We've all seen, remember the All-in-Wonder? Remember the All-in-Wonder we talked about a couple weeks ago that doesn't seem like it's ever going to ship?
Oh, the Video
Wonder.
Right.
Yeah. Is this that kind of?
This isn't that, but it's in the neighborhood. It's a single AGP board. It's a 3D gaming graphics board with the G400 chip on it.
We've talked about the G400. Is this the G400 Max or is this a slower clock G400?
It's a slower clock G400. Okay. It's a little less than the Max.
It's a good gaming.
It's still decent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's still decent. It's nice. I mean, I was playing Quake with just sumptuous, rich, detailed screens.
Really?
Well, and that's what Matrox is known for, is really high quality, good looking, especially 2D screens, and really solid drivers. Their drivers are always the best.
Yeah, graphics geeks and people who do, like desktop publishing stuff tend to love Matrox cards. They're pretty bulletproof, and they got support for like every operating system in the planet up on their website.
Do they
really nice.
BOS?
I believe they just put BOS drivers
on. Great. And Linux,
excellent.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great drivers.
Tried it.
Decent for gaming.
The big thing, though, is we're talking about video capture, TV tuner built in. They break everything out. They actually use the same, remember the dual head technology in the G400? So it support two monitors? Exactly. Well, they dedicated one, so it's got a TV output for a monitor, and then you've got your regular output for your computer monitor.
Oh, that's
so
neat.
you don't lose the dual head capability.
Exactly. You just dedicate one to the television so you can preview stuff that you're creating, and then you turn around and play it back through there.
Will it still do picture-in-picture on the computer screen if I want to watch TV on my computer desktop?
Yeah, and it's got a built-in TV tuner. And actually, if you look at the back of the fabulous case here, they've got an input so you can run a cable line into it.
That's nice.
Excellent.
So, but this is how professional video editors work. They'll have a computer screen that is for the controls.
Exactly.
And they'll have a television screen to see what they're working on, the video they're working on. So now you can do that at home, basically.
You can do it at home. You can do it at home. You can do it in one slot. And it's pretty nice. It's MJPEG capture, so you're doing like a little over NTSC. You can do 702. You want, obviously, like with everything, anything at the time you're doing video capture, this is one of the situations where you can't have enough processor and enough RAM and enough hard drive.
MJPEG is tough, but that is really, that's what the big guys are using on Avids. Like I said, professional editors. That's a very high quality.
If your hard drive will support it, the faster your hard drive is, the better. If your hard drive will support it, you can get some really, really nice quality video out of it.
Does it come with a software bundle too?
Yeah, it comes with Avid Cinema, and we're split on this one. It comes with Avid Cinema is in the box, which sells for about $100 separately.
You like this a lot. I've never been able to get it to work on anything.
No.
But we know it'll work with this because it comes with it, right?
If you've got one of the 3 boards, it'll support. It's actually really nice. But literally, it only works well with it only works period with like 3 different boards.
We've never been able to get it to work on either this show or that other show I do.
That other show.
The Money Machine.
The Money Machine. I'm Carmine Gallo.
That's right.
But I'm sorry, I channeling that for a moment.
How did that happen?
It's the Money Machine.
I don't know.
It looks so much like him when he does that.
So what else can we tell us about this? Does it have DV input or output?
It's got, that's one of the downsides. There's no 1394. They've got a spot on the back for SPDIF, but it's not enabled yet, so that might be something we're going to do in the future.
But it has standard SVHS and composite in and out.
SVHS, composite, S-video.
TV tuner. Great.
Built in.
Basically like an All-in-Wonder, only based on the Matrox chipset.
Exactly. And it's a lot more expensive. The All-in-Wonder, actually, the 128, we were talking about this before, the price on that's way down
It's about $200.
It's down to $140 on Bicom.
See, now that's a great card with a very good gaming chip in it. How much does this cost?
This one's about $290 right now.
Is it worth it to pay that much more for this card?
You know, it's like it's not going to be as good as a GeForce on 3D. I think you're going to like the 3D on this better than you're going to like it on the 128.
Okay.
I like the software that's bundled with this. I like the breakout box better than the one on the ATI.
The breakout box is great. I'm so glad they're all doing this because it's impossible to find a group.
Every time you have to do anything, you have to go back there. So overall, you get pretty decent gaming with all the other features you want.
Yeah, decent gaming, really nice video support, excellent video quality, about as good as you're going to get in your home system.
Let me ask you this about the gaming. When we were looking at the G400 originally, one of the raps on it was it had terrible OpenGL performance.
They have finished their mini GL update driver. One of the gaming sites, I don't know which, not one of the huge ones, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Okay. But apparently they've improved it. I've had Quake 3 running on this thing.
And that's very OpenGL.
8x6 or 10x7.
Really?
8x6. It's a little clunky at 10x7, but that's also I also play it with everything turned on. Maximum detail, maximum.
Because you're that kind of guy.
He's a maximum guy.
I just like a pretty screen while I'm blowing things up on it.
So what do you give it overall?
Overall, we're probably going to end up giving it about 4 out of 5 stars.
And price-wise, it's obviously way out of the ballpark.
It's a premium.
If price were no object, you'd prefer it over the all-in-one to 128.
Yes, price and no object. I mean, the flip side is you could buy like a Moreau board that does similar thing, not Moreau, Pinnacle Systems board that does the same thing. We're talking about this or before the show. Right. But you're also talking about spending $600 for a board.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. I like the MJPEG. I think that's really nice. Sounds like the software on this is much better.
Yeah.
Great, Patrick. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
That is, let's just recap. That is the Matrox G400 TV. Did Rainbow Runner gone, or that was their old TV add-on?
You may still find one for sale, but for all intents and purposes,
this is the new one.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
TV's star. He plays a geek on TV, and he is a geek. Patrick Norton, ZDTV Senior Technical Editor, we thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You're the greatest. And by the way, there is information about it. Patrick.
You mock me.
I mock you. I do not mock you.
We do not mock you.
I love you, man.
You mock me.
We mock you.
Mock me from across the street.
Patrick put some stuff on the website, too, so if you want to read more about it, you can see it at thescreensavers.com. We got an email. Yay!
From whom?
Jeff. He says, as a webmaster, I often find myself transferring files from host to host for various reasons. Is there a method where I can transfer files directly from one site to another? Yes, there is. We'll demo and tell all when the Screensavers continue. Jeff wrote to us with this email. As a webmeister, I often find myself transferring files from host to host for various reasons. Is there a way I could just skip the intermediate and just go directly from one FTP site to another?
Okay, so you're hosting a site over here, and you want to host it over there, but you want to take all your files and move them over. And for some reason, your server can't FTP to their FTP.
Well, normally what you probably would do is you download them onto your local hard drive and then upload them to the other site, and that's an extra step, and that's a pain, right?
Usually too huge, too, to do
If you had shell account access on either site, you could do it, because you'd log in, let's say Site A and Site B. I'd log into Site A, start Site A's FTP client, and say download it directly to me from Site B, right?
Right.
But if you don't have shell access, and you often don't have shell access on websites.
Not from the standard ISP.
On an ISP, it comes and goes. It used to be every ISP you'd have shell access. Nowadays, it's much less common. Okay. And on web hosting sites, very often you don't, because they don't want you getting in there and messing with the shell.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it turns out FTP has a capability called FXP, which is a capability built into to file transfer protocol that allows you to basically do a third-party site transfer. Instruct this site to transfer to this site. It is often disabled, so this may or may not work on your site. This is the program we downloaded. There are many programs that do this, many FTP programs that do this. This one's specifically for it. It's called Flash FXP, 30-day free to try. And what you'll do is you'll set up your sites using the Site Configuration Manager. Here I've set up a link to my website, Leoville, and I've set up a second link to, let me click up here, to our Cobalt FTP server, which is over here, the Cobalt Cube. That is a standard FTP server. So the idea here is, instead of me downloading files from Leoville onto this computer and then uploading them to that one, which you could always do, we would like it if I could transfer them directly from Leoville to there without any intervention on my part.
That would be so cool. Show us.
Well, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So
no.
here...
Because...
Well, apparently my web host has disabled FXP. Now, I'll explain in a second, but here is, as you can see, a picture of Leoville and the contents of Leoville. Here's a picture of my directory on the Cobalt. So I should be, in theory, able just to drag one to the other.
Like any old FTP program.
But as you can see here, we're getting an error. The error is error 500.
Failed.
Transfer failed. And if you look it up, it says that if you get that error, it's because one of the sites has disabled FXP.
So you can't even go the other way. If one of them has it disabled, it doesn't work at all. Period.
Now, they do have a kind of a method, what they call an alternative FXP method called that does sometimes work to get around it, and you can see I can enable it here. I did, in fact, enable it. It still didn't work. So I guess what we're saying is it won't work on all sites. It requires that the site not be blocking FXP. And again, it's a security issue. If you think about it, keeping people from transferring files from one site to another without any intervention. So there's another alternative, of course, and it's probably, if you're only going to do this once, the best alternative is call the website that's hosting your old host and say, or actually call the new host, because they're going to want your business,
you don't want to bug your old host.
Yeah, call the new host and say, would you just mind FTPing all that data over from my old site? If they want your business, they're going to do it. It's easy for them to do it because they just log in with the FTP server. You'll have to give them your login and password. So there is a way to do it with FTP. It's called FXP. It's designed for third-party site transfers. However, it doesn't always work, and as you can see, it doesn't work on my system, and that's because apparently, and I'll have to call them tomorrow and see, but I think that they've disabled it for security reasons.
Okay, now if your new hosting service says no, you could use what, an online storage?
Yeah. Oh, well, or just download it locally. I mean, that's probably the easiest thing to do is just download it locally. Normally, that's what you do. So you have really three choices. If you can get a shell account on either site, it doesn't have to be just open an FTP client, download or upload from that FTP client. You could use FXP, and if you can't use that, you could ask one of the hosts to do it for you, or give you shell access.
And you find other programs that'll do that, or just
there's dozens. Yeah, there's dozens.
All right.
Yeah, this seems the best. It's really devoted to FXP, although it does file transfer as well.
Okay. Do you know where we got this particular version?
Yes, I do. Would you like to see it?
I would love to see it.
All right. Well,
now, this is a 30-day free trial, and it's what, $100 to keep it?
No. I think it's like $30, but we'll go to the site and see.
Oh,
I think there's a link here to Flash. You see, we have some other ones as well. But here's Flash FXP. Let me just see the price here.
Does it say?
It does not say.
Purchase.
$25.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
Oh, that's fine. Go for it.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that this will do the job. The nice thing is you can try it first and see if it works for you on the sites that you're transferring to and from. And if you have control of your site, then you can easily enable FXP on the site.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
So there you go. Folks, you want to be a creator?
Oh, yes.
Want to be a star?
Yes.
Want to be a contender?
No.
Okay. Well, record a video email then and send it to us. Instructions, your scripts, your boxing gloves. Wait at screensavers.com. Yeah, well, just click on that interact button. Here's somebody who did that for us. Davis from Santa Monica, California. Take it away.
Davis. More of the Screensavers coming up next, only on ZDTV. Amaze yourself.
Welcome back to the Screensaver. Take a peek up there on your screen. You'll see it's pretty much 50-50, leaning on the no side with the whole chipped beef thing. But you all must have been in the military and you know. Got 24 hours to vote. Screensavers.com.
Time for a couple of quick emails.
All
I
right.
love this one from John. Said, I had to write this letter because of the amazing circumstances you've created. A year and a half ago, my father found ZDTV and had Screensavers. Every night since, he and my mother sit loyally at home, watch every episode. Imagine two middle-aged people curled up on their couch with their Lhasa Apso Sammy, glued to whatever you and Kate say. And he said, they don't understand everything you say, but I've always considered myself the computer guy in the family. Lately, I've been talking with my mother about ROM and RAM.
Wow.
And I've been calling my father for tech support.
All right.
Isn't that great? So hello to Bill and Jackie Keating.
And Sammy the Lhasa Apso.
And Sammy the Lhasa Apso. And that's a nice, heartwarming story. I guess they flew to Las Vegas just to see us, and they got a square sponge.
All right. Love to you both. Hey, where can I get my very own Linux penguin, Leo?
Like the ones we show, LinuxMall.com sells really nice ones, including that big one.
All right. Let's take a second, folks. Today is also the last day of our very favorite beloved director, Christine Strand, who's sitting right here, who's going to go on the road with Tina Turner. How cool is that? Hello. So we just want to thank you for being the queen of our show. We love you so much.
Since the very beginning, since day one.
Here.
2 years. That's it for this edition of the... Oh, you want to say anything?
No, go for it.
All right. That's it for this edition of the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
I'm Kate Costello. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Come on in, everybody.
Thank you. Welcome. See, that didn't hurt too much, did it? Yay! No time.
Oh, my God. They got style.